Hello everyone, I am Golden Nation. I am here to present block hole attacks and its countermeasures. So on completion of this video, students will be able to explain what is block hole attack and how it is works. So block hole attack occurs under DOS, denial of service attack in the network layer of OSI model. So in this kind of attacks, the malicious nodes forgery other nodes by announcing a shortest false route to the destination, then attracts additional traffic and drops continually the packets. So during data transmission, the source node sends a root REQ request message to all the nodes, including malicious node, given that a malicious node may become active by receiving or root request message and replies using root reply message. So it attracts additional traffic by falsely claiming the shortest route to the destination. So this causes the blocking and increasing the energy consumptions in each node to the formation of routing holes which disturb or stop the network functionally. So the figure shows the block hole attack schematic illustrations using root request and root reply packet. So in this figure, the block hole attack, while the source node broadcast an R request message to discover the route for the sending packets to the destination node C, and or request broadcast from the node A is receiving by neighboring node B. D, the malicious node E, the or reply message sent by the malicious attacker node E is the first message reaching the source node. So this last update, it's routing table for the new route to the intended node destination, discarding any RREP message from other neighboring nodes, including the actual node destination, and starts sending the buffered data packets immediately in the same time. The black hole node drops all coming data packets rather than forwarding. So routing access restrictions. So in this, actually routing may be one of the most attractive attack target is in WSN. So if we exclude attackers from participating in the routing process, that is restrict them from accessing routing, a large number of attacks in the network layer will be prevented or elevated. So multi-path routing is one of the method to reduce the effectiveness of attacks launched by attackers on the routing path. So in this scheme, packets are routed through multiple paths. Even if the attacker on one of the path breaks down the path, the routing is not necessarily broken as other paths still exist. This elevates the impact of routing attacks, although does not prevent these attacks. So a general way is to use authentication methods. With this authentications, it can easily determine whether the sensor can participate in routing or not. So authentication can be either end-to-end or hop-to-hop. In the end-to-end authentication, the source and the destination share some secret and can thus verify each other. So when a node receives a routing update, it always verify the sender of the update before accepting the update. So in hop-to-hop authentication, each message in transmission is authenticated hop by hop. So therefore, the trust between the source and the destination is built upon the trust on all the intermediate nodes in the path. So data are authenticated hop by hop between associated nodes until they reaches the base station. Hop to hop authentication can be combined with multi-path routing. So this path can be physical, meaning that messages are routed through multiple physically different communication paths. Then false routing information detections. Sometimes attackers do not have a chances to send false routing information into the network. Example, during the route discovery stages, if the false information does not lead to the network failure, such as broken routes, we really cannot do such much about it. So otherwise, we can apply the idea of a misbehavior detection method. For example, watchdog or IDS. IDS means intrusion detection systems maybe find that some node fails to the root messages. Root messages along the routing path. So due to the wrong information it keeps. So this anomaly of a route failure, any trigger out an alarm. So nodes can start trace a source of false routing information. The repetition can also be maintained depending on whether the nodes are provided valid routing information. The next one is flooding attack and its countermeasures. So many protocol requires nodes to broadcast a hello packet to announce themselves to their neighbor, and node receiving such packets may assume that it is within normal radio range of the center. These assumptions may be false. A laptop class attacker broadcast routing or other information with a large enough transmission power could convince every node in the network that the adversary is its neighbor. Then using secret case method. So in multipath or multi-base station data forwarding technique, each sensor node maintains number of different secrets keys in a multiple tree. So sensor node can forward its sensed data to multiple routes by using these secrets. So there are multiple base stations in the network that have control over specific number of nodes, and also there are common means of communication among base stations. So each base station has all the secrets that are shared by all the sensor nodes covered by it. So according to the key assignments protocol. Then the last one is using threshold method. It is used to defend against flooding attacks in WSN. So the mobile nodes use a threshold value to check whether its neighbor or intruder or not. So when the number of routes request packets broadcasted by a node exceeds the predefined threshold value, it is thread as an intruder and the node stops providing its services to the intruder. Thank you. Thanks for listening.